This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hello everybody, it's Filter Friday on Public House Media, and I got up extra early today because I could not wait to talk about the Ghislaine Maxwell court documents that got unsealed, which we've basically been waiting for like ever, right? Like, man, we've been hearing all of this media hemming and hawing of like, oh, is the judge going to release it, or is she going to seal it, release it, seal it, release it, seal it? It's been released, it's been a day, it's legitimately so exciting. I have come to recently, I don't want to say believe, hello, whoever's coming in, hopefully it's David Bobkin, you can tell me if it sounds okay. Also, take a second to share the show, because I can't share it when I'm doing it like this. It doesn't work, unfortunately, which sucks, but I'm just gonna have to rely on you to do it. And like, even afterwards when I'm done, and I like, because of the Wi-Fi situation, it takes like forever for the show to share it all. So do me a favor and do Public House Media a favor and share the show while we're doing this right now. And if you're coming in, because I can see my counter going up, leave me a comment so I know who it is. My phone keeps buzzing and I can't see anything. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, anyway, let's get down to it. Oh, a slightly small announcement before we get into the real juice here. So, a couple female filmmakers have decided to put out this documentary called Brainwashed, and it's about cinematography techniques that are meant to, that on one hand are made to look like they're empowering female characters, but really it's more of a disempowering sort of a dynamic. I don't know. I don't know too much about that. I guess they're just now starting to work on it, and they're not going to release it until mid-2021 for the festival circuit, which will maybe put them at TIFF next year, and I don't know, who will see. But interesting concept for a #MeToo documentary. I'll watch anything cinematography related. I don't know that I subscribe to it just yet, but I'm willing to ingest and make my own opinion on it. Anyway, now that Ghislaine Maxwell's court documents have been unsealed, officially, as of like 24 hours ago. So, a few years ago, Virginia Goff, her maiden name is Roberts, she ended up in a defamation lawsuit with Ghislaine Maxwell because basically Virginia sought justice for the things that Ghislaine was involved in with her, and then Ghislaine was like, you can't say these horrible true things about me. And then they had this defamation lawsuit that went on for a while, and this big gigantic deposition that I guess took 9+ hours for her to give, and they settled that lawsuit. Ghislaine lost. And now we have all of these juicy, delicious pages to go through of things that she has not testified against, but she gave a deposition, so she went on the record saying they asked her questions, and these were the answers to said questions. So I'm so excited. So excited. If you're coming in, leave me a comment, please, so I can see who it is. Because that's why I do the show live, so I don't have to do it alone, so you can join in. My favorite thing about this getting unsealed is that what she didn't say tells kind of even more than what she did say. And I have to say, that's been like a reoccurring theme, I feel like, that keeps popping up, of like the story and then like the holes in the story are equally valid. The things that get left out, the things that people plead the fifth on, the things that it's like, okay, you told the story from like A to G, but you skipped like C and D, that doesn't mean C and D aren't there. That just means you just glossed over them. And I've always had a problem with that, media-wise, for a very long time, is that, these important details just get glossed over and swept under the rug. And that's not okay. That's what we're here for. That's why we do this show. So, my hands down favorite thing that she said in this deposition years ago is that she was never on Jeffrey Epstein's private island along with Bill Clinton, and that Virginia was absolutely bold-faced lying. And then, a few questions down, it's like, okay, so you were on the plane with Bill Clinton. Yes. To and from the island. Yes. But you were never on the island with Bill Clinton that you got on a plane to fly to or away from. Does this make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Like, this is a hilarious joke at this point. So that's hands down my favorite thing. And she alleges that, this is another favorite thing of mine. Second favorite. The Bill Clinton one is just, it's one for the books, I have to say. It's going to go in the hashtag #MeToo Hall of Fame lies, for sure. For sure. I was watching Zombieland 2 the other day, and it reminded me of, like, the zombie kill of the week, or the zombie kill of the year, if you've seen the sequel. And I think we need a similar thing, but for hashtag #MeToo lies, or hashtag #MeToo just nonsense in general, of, really, come on. This is ridiculous. So that's the Bill Clinton one is my number one favorite. So, according to Virginia Goff, she was reading a book on massage when she was like 17 years old, and Ghislaine Maxwell just comes trotting up to her. It's like, hey, you know what? Why don't you come give massages to this billionaire dude that I work for, like, down the street? It's gonna be great. And then she ended up, being a sex slave for a number of years. So, according to Ghislaine Maxwell, Virginia offered herself as a masseuse. Ghislaine also alleges that her only, dealings with Epstein were she helped him find staff for his houses and things like that. So, cooks, groundskeepers, things like that, and she never procured anybody as a sex slave for Jeffrey Epstein or Prince Andrew or any of these other people. And what is interesting to me about that is if you're someone who's ever hired anybody, because I'm a person who's hired lots of people, that's what you have to do as a producer, you hire just ungodly amounts of people. And to hire people to do such things, you have to have, employee paperwork. So if this girl invited herself to massage people, A, how'd she get there? B, who let her in? And C, who did her paperwork? If that's all you were doing was hiring people to do domestic activities for these estates. Things that don't make sense to me. It's definitely in the top 5. Definitely in the top 5. So, even with that being said, isn't there some sort of, even if that's all that's happening, which you and I both know, that's not the case. Shouldn't there be some start paperwork or work permits or literally any sort of documentation to support these claims that all she was doing was hiring help for these estates? Even you've got to have some sort of documentation for that. And if you don't, then you've got tax problems. And if you've got tax problems, well, the IRS doesn't let go of these things, It just doesn't. So, with that being said, I highly recommend that you check out just this big, gigantic list of nonsensical I plead the fifth. It was very, very, very Hillary Clinton. It was very Hillary Clinton on the stand. I do not recall. I plead the fifth. I have no knowledge. I wouldn't categorize it as that. I think that's probably Ghislaine's going to be her new catchphrase, because they asked her, did you consider yourself to be Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend? And she was like, I think I would like to categorize myself as that at times it's complicated. This is not the time to say that it was complicated. You obviously didn't have a complicated relationship. And then they asked her about why she stood by him, even in his sexual predator case that he caught in Florida back in like the mid-2000s. And she was like, oh, well, he was really nice to me when my dad died, so I'm a loyal person. How loyal? How loyal? We shall put that to the test in this whole big situation. We'll see if any bed sheets go missing or security cameras just don't work or guards get changed or see a wider breadth of what was going on. And she doesn't necessarily have to say it or admit to it to start painting more pieces of this picture. And that's the really, really, really important part because, considering we have things like, Hunter Biden's laptop and that definitely having child porn on it, that he himself made. We have to, the public is getting acclimated to these horrible, horrible, horrible things that have been happening by people who feel themselves to be untouchable because they have the money or the connections to just make things go away. Not anymore. Not anymore. So I will see you all next week for another No Filter Friday on Public House Media. It's going to be great. I'm sure more documents will come unsealed. And even if they don't, like this document that just got unsealed was probably like this thick. It's pages and pages and pages. Public House Media is, it's a Midwestern company. Got that Midwest fall cider and donuts football kind of a vibe. So check out other shows in the network, and I will see you all next week. Bye 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 bye.